In your legal panel, Florida prosecutor Pam Bondi and criminal defense attorney Jeff Brown join us. Pam, there's obviously, everyone seems to be crawling all over everybody else, trying to sort out the facts and the timing and everything else, but it does really matter what was in that area where her remains were found on December 15th. You know, it matters when those remains are placed there, whether it's back in June or at some subsequent time. How do you sort this out?
Well, Greta, as we've been saying, it's all going to come down to the timeline. They're going to use when her cell phone pinged in that area. I think they're going to argue that that's when she put the body there. And as we've discussed before, I think the plants that were growing, I think the forensic evidence is going to be very important in this case, because we've heard scientists say that those plants had been growing around that body for some time. So it had been placed there. It had been there for quite a while. Could you imagine if those two investigators had actually been in the exact right spot and found that body?
Actually, that's what the defense is probably going to be talking about, Jeff. I mean, I guess that they want this tape. If I were the defense team, I'd want this tape and see if in any way they were in the precise place where the remains were later found. You agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at that videotape, which is about 3 weeks earlier, there doesn't seem to be a lot of water there. It looks to be to me like it's dry ground. And you know, the state's been saying, oh, this area is covered underwater, that's why the body wasn't found. Well, it doesn't look that way. It looks pretty dry to me. It doesn't look like there's water on the ground. So the big question is going to be, how long was that body there? And if it was there at a time when she was in custody, and then it wasn't there beforehand, you know, she's going to have a great alibi for that.
It's the weirdest story, Jeff, how that meter reader happened to just stumble upon,
yeah.
and having made calls in August to me. I still don't get this. This is either the most incredible coincidence or something I'm missing.
And that's what I've said from the beginning, is it's just so weird that in this entire case you have this meter reader that comes out there and literally tells law enforcement to come out. They look, they don't find it, and then he calls again. It's like, if you know there's that body there, if it's so odd to you that you want to call, I don't understand why you're not there the next day. Why you aren't pointing this out? Why is this so mysterious? People want to say animals took it or something. It doesn't make any sense, and that's just the part that I come back to is...
But in fairness to the Sheriff's Department, they probably got like 80 million zillion crazy tips that they've got to chase down.
But this guy was out there.
That's not... You know, I understand that, but they probably got so many psychics and everybody else saying all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But I guess the weird thing is, I'm thinking, like, what are the odds that someone could make a phone call in August and say, you better check this area? And I think there were 2 phone calls, or maybe 3, and then 4 or 5 months later in December, Pam is the one who finds the remains. That's just peculiar to me. That's so weird.
Oh, sure it is, and her high school friend, you know, who was saying the same thing, that the body was out there. But then the prosecution has Tim Miller to back up the fact that, yes, they did indeed try to search that area. It was underwater. But, of course, what Jeff just said, this video could end up helping the defense in that 3 weeks prior the area was dry. But I've been out there. I was out there with Fox, and that's a huge wooded area. It's just such a big area, and that would make sense why those defense investigators wouldn't have seen the body, or I mean, it's such a big area.
But then that just makes it weird again. Yeah, that just makes it even weirder. That even makes it weirder that the meter reader saw it.
Yeah, he saw it, and then he brings them back, and he doesn't point it out to them. It doesn't make sense. If I see a body, trust me, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be camped out there.
Well, I don't think he said he saw a body in August.
Well, okay, but what does he see? If it's so odd, okay, but something there makes him call. It doesn't make any sense.
And something there makes him go back. It's just something makes him go back. I don't know. Anyway, we'll find out. So we're not going to give this one up, obviously. Everyone's all over this story. Pam, Jeff, thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Up next, well, what was that private investigator doing so close to where Caylee's remains were found? Is it possible her skull wasn't even there at the time? Could this be new evidence that the remains were moved? Dr. Bodden analyzes the new clues. Then Prince Harry, he's at it again. First, the prince dresses up as a Nazi. Now he's caught on tape using an ethnic slur. Who is the prince talking about, and what did he say? We're going to play you the tape, and then you go to London for a live report.
Problems are enormous right now, but here's the good news. The answer to everything in America is the people. It's you. It's me. We have to start trusting each other, be a part of the solution together.
Back January 19th on Fox. Chase Card has a unique built-in fraud monitoring system. So online or off, you're protected. Protection matters. Chase what matters.
The proposal's back on my office computer. Call for help.